أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إن الحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله. So inshallah we will revise what we have studied last time. So we were actually doing this Ismul Ishara, and we actually studied how we can use this Ismul Ishara to create one more fragment, right? So we are actually doing nowadays fragments. So word level we have completed, now fragments. Fragment means it's an incomplete sentence. It's not a sentence, right? It is just combination of few words, okay, and but it does not make a sentence. And examples I have already given you: mudaf, mudaf ilay, harfi jar majroor, right? So all those. So what are the ismul ishara? Let me again revise these. So in English, we say pointing words, right? And we say this, that, these, those, and when we take this and these into consideration, these are the pointing words when we use these to point to the objects which are very closer to you, right? And then that and those are the pointers which we use for pointing to the objects which are far from us, right? And in Arabic the concept is same. So for this we have haza. Hazihi is the equivalent feminine part of haza. So for masculine, we will use haza, this, and for feminine, we say hazihi, this. And zalika, am I audible for everybody? Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, brother.
Okay. Then we have that for in Arabic, we have zalika, masculine, and tilka, feminine. Then plural, haulai, these. So basically, haulai is plural of haza. Okay, and hazihi. For masculine and feminine both, the plural version is haulai. It's used for both masculine as well as feminine. Then for zalika and tilka, the plural version is ulaika, those. Okay. Now, then we studied how we can use these ismul ishara to create the fragments, right? And what we did is, like, if we have these ismul ishara and we put a word after these ismul ishara, but we put al on that word. So whenever you see a ismul ishara followed by a word having al on it, okay, this becomes a fragment. So how will you translate this? You will say, for example, haza al kitabu, you will say this book. So you see this book, this is not a sentence. It is just a fragment. It does not make any sense. We say this book. So this book what? Right? No information. So fragment does not give the complete picture, complete information. It raises the information, but it does not, information. Okay. So that is what fragment is doing, right? So by using this ismul ishara, we can make fragments. So how? As I mentioned, you have ismul ishara, and then you have a following word having al on it. And that word having al on it, which is followed by ismul ishara, this is called musharun ilay. Musharun ilay. Musharun ilay means the one which is being pointed to. Pointed to. The one which is being pointed to. Ismul ishara means the pointer, and musharun ilay means the one which is being pointed to it. So, okay, so this al kitab is pointed to haza. Haza is pointing to al kitab, right? So al kitab is the one which is being pointed by haza. So haza al kitab. So whenever you see in Quran, the ismul ishara like haza, zalika, tilka, ulaika, haulai, followed by word having al on it, you should also always take it as fragment. You should not say this is the book, but this book. Now if I remove the al, if there's a ismul ishara haza, for example, and it is followed by just a word kitabun, this word does not have al on it, this does not become ismul ishara musharun ilay combination. So this is ismul ishara, but this is not musharun ilay. So the musharun ilay should have, the first property of the musharun ilay is it should have al on it. Okay, if it is not having al, then it's not a musharun ilay, and this does not also become fragment then. So haza kitabun means this is a book. This is a book. So it's complete sentence. Okay, so from these ismul ishara, you can make a sentence or you can make a fragment. By putting al on the word following it, you'll make fragment. By removing the al, you can make it a sentence, right? So then there is another property of the Ismul Ishara and Musharun Ilay. So when you have Ismul Ishara and Musharun Ilay, like Haza al Kitabu, the property is whatever is the ism properties, whatever the ism four properties of ism which we have studied so far, like we have like what is the status of ism, whether it is marfu, mansub, majroor, okay, whether it is masculine or feminine, whether it is singular, plural, whether it is common or proper, the ismul ishara and the musharun ilay should have all the four properties of ism same. The first property of the ismul ishara musharun ilay is the musharun ilay should have al on it. That's the first property that makes it musharun ilay. Second, all the properties of ismul ishara and musharun ilay should be same. It's four properties of ism. Okay. So here in this case, if you see, zalika is marfu. Okay, and the ismul ishara I have already mentioned. These are mabni. They are non-flexible. They don't show their sound in marfu, majroor, and mansub. Okay, their sound is not like others like u, a, e. Okay. So you can see here there's nothing before it which which has made this zalika as a mansub and majroor. And we know this whenever by default word is marfu, it changed to mansub and majroor when something comes before it. If harf nasab comes before it, it becomes mansub. If harf jar comes before it, it becomes majroor. Or if mudaf comes before it, it becomes majroor, right? So here, if you see, there's nothing before it which can make it, which change its status. So it's marfu. So it's marfu. Now let's see al-kitabu. You can see it's also marfu. Then let's see the second property. It is singular, right? That. This is also singular. It is masculine. This is also masculine. And this is proper. All the ismul ishara are proper. They are proper. Okay, they are not common. And you can see al-kitabu is also proper because it is having al on it. So one of the property of a word to be proper is when it has al on it. Okay. So you see all the four properties of Ismul Ishara and Musharun Ilay is same. Now, if I do one thing, if I put something before this zalika, let's do that. Okay, let me copy this and let's do that. Okay, see it here. So if I put something before this zalika, okay, and let's say I put harf jar before it, fi. I put fi. Now, what is the status of zalika now? What will it change to?
Majroor status.
Yes. But it will not show the sign. I already mentioned.
Yes, it's a mabni.
Yeah. So it is now majroor. Now what should be the property of what should become to al kitabu now?
Should be majroor, yes.
Yes. See, it is followed by al, right? It is having al on it. That means it's musharun ilay. Okay, this is the whenever we have a word having al on it followed by ismul ishara, then it is definitely a musharun ilay. Now it has to have all the properties same. So that means this al kitabu should change its now status. It should match with the zalika, right? It cannot remain marfu. As ismul ishara is majroor, it has to be majroor. Is sound.
Yes.
Is sound, right? So fi zalikal kitabi. Okay. Now if I for example, if I do one more thing, if I say let me write in English first of all. I say verily in that book. How will you say that? Verily, certainly. What do you say? What is that?
Inna.
Yes, you say inna. Okay.
Inna hazal kitab.
Yeah, inna. Just hold on. So you write inna, not haza. I said that.
In that. Okay. See, inna.
Inna zalikal kitab.
Very good. So you'll say inna zalika. Now I say that book. Okay, that means that book. It's a fragment, right? So I had to put al on it. So al
kitab.
Kita. Now, what should be harka of this ba?
Mansub, right?
Yes, it should be mansub. But because zalika is mansub, because of inna.
Ji.
Harf-e nasab,
Ji.
harf-e nasab are, for those who are joined today, harf-e nasab like inna, anna, these are the harfs which make following word mansoob. Mansoob means a sound. Okay. So this inna made zalika what? Mansoob. As al-kitab is followed by ism al-ishara, is a musharan illa, it has to have same all the ism properties. So it should be kitaba. So inna zalika al-kitaba. If you see in the inna hazal Qur'ana, in the Quran, right? Inna hazal Qur'ana. Certainly in this book, or verily in this book, right? Okay. So now you see, if something comes before it, okay, then obviously the ism musharan ilay will take the same property as ism al-ishara, right? Correct. So that's what I just wanted to show this here. Now, one more thing. If you say these books, how will you say? These books.
Haulai or ulaika?
These is haulai, right?
Haulai.
So you'll say, okay,
Haulai kutubun.
just hold on. I am not putting Hamza here. This is understood. So you say haulai
Kitabun kutubun.
kutub. Haulai al kutub. Why? I'm saying these books. I'm not saying these are books. I'm making a fragment. So I had to put al. Remember, this is a fragment, right? These books.
Al kutubu. Al
You say
kutubu.
al. You not say haza kitabun. Hazi. So you say hazihi kutubu, not bun, because al, tanween and al will never come. Okay. Al and tanween is always enemy. They can never go together. So if you have al, you cannot have on here. Okay. Haulai al kutubu. Now, is it correct grammatically? Can anybody guess?
Ulai al-kutub.
Anybody?
Mushran ilayki.
No, that's okay. This is ismul ishara and musharan ilay. That's already done. I mean, say, did I write this properly? How will I? I mean, say, is this the correct word? Okay. Anyways, you might have forgotten it. I know. Please revise your notes. See, if you remember, when we were doing gender number, when we were doing numbers, masculine and feminine, we have, so one of the reason, not number, but gender, sorry, for one of the reason for a word to be feminine is when it is non-human broken plural, right? And we also learned that non-human broken plural are always
Singular and feminine, no?
as treated as, yeah, singular feminine. When I say treated as, when I say treated as means whenever I address to them non-human broken plurals, whenever I address, whenever I point towards those non-human broken plurals, I will always point with what? Singular feminine thing. Okay, so that, for example, if I am pointing towards those non-human broken plurals like with some hua, like pronouns, I will use the feminine singular version of the pronoun. And if I now use these ismul ishara, which ismul ishara should I use to address the non-human broken plural? In this case, so al-kutubu. Now tell me, al-kutubu, is it non-human broken plural or simple plural? What it is?
Hazihi.
Non-human broken plural.
Exactly. So al-kutubu is non-human broken plural, right? Al-kutub is plural, but what kind of plural it is? It is non-human. It is gair akal. Gair akal, है ना? Gair akal jama maksur. It is gair akal
जमा मकसूर.
jama maksur, right? Now, gair akal jama maksur are always treated as singular feminine. When we say treat as, means when we point towards it, we'll use the pointers which are singular feminine. Now, I said these books. Now, books is non-human plural, al-kutubu. So I will use which version? But which for instead of these, what will I for these? What will I use now? Which is,
ذلك.
huh?
ذلك.
By zalika is that. I had to use
Ah,
singular
this,
feminine
this, yeah,
version.
this. هذا.
Hazihi.
Hazihi, yes.
هذه.
Hazihi. Hazihi is always used for feminine, right? Feminine singular, right? Haza is this singular masculine. Hazi is singular feminine. So as I mentioned, non-human broken plurals are always treated as singular feminine. That means whenever I point towards non-human broken plurals, I'll use singular feminine, either pointer or pronoun, whatever. Here it is ismul ishara. So I'll use among the ismul ishara, I'll see these के लिए कौन सा singular feminine हो सकता है. So hazihi. So singular feminine hazihi. Hazihi al-kutubu. Okay. So you should not, say it is mistake. Somebody should not, like when some non-Muslims, when they come up with the grammatical errors in Quran, they say, they will come up with these silly things. Okay, they say, see, hazihi al-kutubu is translated as these books. How is hazihi singular? Okay, so hazihi al-kutubu means these books. See, these books. Now you see this gair akal jama maksur al-kutubu. Hold on. The jama gair akal jama maksur is non-human broken plural, okay? And when I am treating it, when I am pointing towards it with the ismul ishara, I will use the ismul ishara, which version? Feminine version of singular gender as a number. Now, if I say those books, what will I say?
Stanik.
أولئك.
Again, you are going wrong.
Okay, got it. تلك ذلك.
Tilka. You will not say ulaika. They are not treated as non-human broken plurals, or never treated as plurals. They are always treated as singular feminine. Got a point? So you will say tilka.
تلك الكتب.
Tilka al-kutubu. Tilka al-kutubu. So those books. Okay. In Quran, if you read Juz 3rd, it starts with
Tilka Rasul.
yes.
Tilka Rasul.
It starts with Tilka. Tilka Rasulu, right? Tilka Rasulu. Correct? I wrote correctly? Yeah. Tilka Rasulu. Now, Rasulu is what? It's a broken plural, right? Jama maksur, right? And Tilka is what? It is that. And Tilka is the feminine version of Zalika, but singular. Zalika means that, Tilka also means that. Here I am saying Rusulu is a messengers. Okay. Rasul means one messenger. Rusulu means messengers. Okay. So now why I did not use here Ulaika Rusulu? Why?
Feminine होना ना उसमें. That's why you write Tilka Rasul. No?
But Rusulu is feminine. Is it feminine?
नहीं, वो single and feminine form में रहना because of broken plural.
No.
Non-human broken plural.
But Rusulu is it non-human broken plural? Messengers are all human, right?
जी.
It is a human broken plural, right? HBR, human broken plural, right? So why are you use tilka? Why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala use tilka here?
तिल्क is also used for azmat के लिए भी ना कुरान रसूल की अजमत बयान करने के लिए कुरान की अजमत बयान तिल्क is also used for that.
That is not the actual reason. Actually, so that is one of the reason, okay, but not the grammar. I'm saying grammatically. That's not, see, what you said is like the balag point of view. That is from
Okay.
rhetorical point of view. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So I am saying here from the grammatical point of view. Generally, you see, non-human broken plurals are treated as feminine singular, right? Singular feminine, correct? So as in this case, right? So here, if you see ar-rusulu, it is a broken plural, but it's a human broken plural. Have you any? Do you remember what the notes? So, anyways, I'll tell you. If you remember the human broken plurals, okay, HBR, human broken plural, HBP, okay, sorry, human broken plurals can be treated as
Singular, feminine, and plural.
plural, okay, or we have a choice, or
Choice,
and we have a choice, and there is a choice of
singular, feminine.
yes, choice of treating these as singular feminine. Very good. There's a choice here. So here's the choice. In case of Rusul is a human broken plural, so we have a choice. We can use Ulaika Rusul, that's also perfect fine. Or we can use Tilka Rusul. Now, why Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala used Tilka, why he chose Tilka, why not Ulaika, as Madam Sister Fahima was telling, that, it's for, Azmat. Okay, so that's a rhetorical point of view. Okay, so, but it's perfectly correct because human broken plural can be also treated as singular feminine. So again, if you read the arguments of non-Muslims, one of these arguments also there. There's a grammatical mistake in Quran like this. Why tilka? Why not ulaika? But they are ignorants, right? They don't know grammar of Arabic. Okay. So I hope that is this clear so far, or there's a confusion? Anybody having confusion here? Please let me know here. Otherwise, you should not create mind boggling to you. Everybody, oh, fine. Anybody having confusion, getting confused, please let me know here. I'll again repeat, inshallah. So far clear?
Yeah, so far clear, but this is the rule. Okay, we will understand.
Yeah, okay. This is the rule, and you should remember this. Okay, you should not get confused. Okay, so ulaika rusulu is also perfect. Tilka rusulu is also perfect because human broken plural can be also treated as singular feminine. Okay. Now, if I had to say these are messengers, if I say these are messengers, how will you say?
Choice. We have two choice.
Okay.
Haulayu Rasulu.
How will I?
Haulayu Rasulu.
Rasulu. Are you sure?
Ar Rasulu.
Why al Rasulu?
Ar Rasulu. Messengers. Rasulu.
Okay.
Rasulu.
Just hold on. Ar Rasulu. You are saying al?
Ar Rasulu. Ar Rasulu.
But does it make a fragment?
These are okay. These are messengers. Haulayu Rusulun.
Haulai Rusulun. Rusulun. Okay. Haulai Rusulun. This is not a fragment. This is a what? Sentence.
These are
Sentence.
Yeah. It's not a Ismul Ishara Musharun like case. So you will say Haulai Rusulun. These are messengers. Okay. Now, I'll give ayah of the Quran you had translated by yourself. Okay. Let's see how much you have understood. Tilka. Tilka ayatul Tilka ayatul kitabi al-hakimi. Yeah. Tilka ayatul kitabil hakimi. So let me give you some meaning. Ayat means signs. Ayah is one sign. Ayatu is signs. S-I-G-N-S, signs. Okay. Okay. So tilka, al-kitabi, al-hakimi means wise.
Tilka ayatul. So those are the verses of the Al-Hakim.
Okay, so you're saying
Or no, those are the verses of the Hakim.
those are
I
the
don't know.
signs.
Verses.
Signs?
Signs. Yes.
Signs
Signs of
of
the Hakim आएगा ना, because Hakim is there. The wise.
wise.
And then where you put the book?
not?
Sorry.
Why can't you put book? What's the problem?
That's actually
Those are the signs of the wise book. Simple.
book. डाल सकते हैं?
So you will
ठीक है.
why not? This is the
Yes.
sifa, this is the mawsuf, right?
Mawsuf, जी.
Okay. For those who
जी.
do not understand.
That's how I identified. Because of Hakim only I identified it as Sifa Mawsuf.
Okay. So let's before we jump to translation, let's go by word. Now here, if you see tilka, this is ismul ishara, right? Now there is a word following it, ayatu, which is not having al on it. That means it is not
Plural.
it's not a musharun ilay.
Yeah,
thing.
it is not in.
So it's a sentence. So you will put here or is, whatever. Okay, so that means there's a break here. I cannot say these ayats. I cannot say these ayats because it is not musharun ilay. It is not having al on it. Now, so that's one point. Number second. Now tilka means that, feminine, but here is ayatu. Ayatu is feminine.
No, non-broken plural.
It's a non-human broken plural. It's a
Yes.
not human plural, non-human feminine plural. It's a non-human feminine. Ayatu muslimatu. That also can be treated as singular feminine. Non-human plurals are always treated as singular feminine.
Singular feminine.
Non-human broken, or if you remember, non-human broken or normal plurals are always treated as singular feminine. Okay. Now it is ayatu. It's like muslimatu, but it is non-human plural. Okay. So that's why tilka has come. That means this tilka is not translated as that, but those. Okay, you will not translate this tilka that, but those. Why? Because of ayatu, which is non-human plural. Now, coming to the next word. You have ayatu, you have al-kitabi. What is the relationship between sister? No, you don't tell. Please let others also, because you made it. They should also have some idea, right? So what is the relationship between ayatu al-kitabi? Others, please, any of you? What is ayatu al-kitabi? What is the relationship between these two words? Is there any relationship or there is no relationship? Or they are individual words?
It's a verse of that kitab.
It is the
Sifa Mawsuf.
ayatu and al-kitab is sifa mawsuf.
It's kitabi is mawannas. Ayatu is
What is sifa mawsuf, Yusuf bhai? The two words can become sifa mawsuf if they have all the four properties of ism same. Is there here? So all the four properties of ism same. This ayatu, this al-kitabi. The first property is on toss. This is marfu, this is majroor. So what is the another relationship between ayatu al-kitabi? What is another relationship? Think. Okay, others. Saddam bhai.
जी
हाँ
अ,
चलिए
नहीं आइडिया।
ओके इसका मतलब है यू डोंट यू आर नॉट रिवाइजिंग योर नोट्स प्लीज रिवाइज योर नोट्स
जी जी जी
not with the condition right
जी
so how can we go forward when you have this problem that means you are not revising at all see we will every day we'll be every weekend we'll be studying something but then if you don't remember what we have read so far then it's not going to help you it's like we are conducting classes that's it so now tell me Saddam bhai there's this al-kitabi okay what is the status of this al-kitabi what is the status what is the arab status is it marfu mansoob or majroor Saddam bhai
जी
yeah
अ,
yeah what is the status is it marfu mansoob or majroor क्या है ये मरफू मजरूर मंसूब पता है ना आपको
जी जी पता है
हाँ
हाँ,
मंसूब मजरूर मरफू क्या होता
थोड़ा
है
कंस अ,
मरफू क्या होता है ओके
इस
तो थोड़ा आपको रिवाइज
टाइप्स
करने की जरूरत है बहुत ये शाहजहान साहब अबू
It's a majrur status.
वेरी गुड इट्स अ मजरूर स्टेटस नाउ टेल मी what things make what word no why word becomes a majroor what are the reasons
Two reasons. One
yes
is, yeah, you can tell brother Yusuf tell, brother Faisal tell, brother Zamir tell. I know those
you
brothers
know
are tell.
okay then you okay Faisal bhai there are two reasons for a word in fact there are three reasons for a word to become majroor so what are the reasons can you tell me
But actually, I have to revise that previous week class one.
okay others who's left Yusuf bhai also
Brother Yusuf, brother Zamir Patel.
Zamir bhai
Why? It's E.
ah
Al-Kitabi.
it's a majroor al
Yeah.
kitabi why it is majroor what are the reasons for a word to be majroor okay sister Fahima
Uh,
you have you have studied it so far
It is, I think, proper noun, na?
no it is
Al-kitab.
no it's
Huh.
proper no I'm saying status arab
Status is majru, the jar, na?
why it is there
I have no idea.
okay okay you are actually
I'll
studying
study.
right now yeah you had to go to the notes too. So no problem so I was actually I asked you because I thought you have studied you were telling na there's
No,
some
I have seen, but I'll study further. I have
no
gone
issue.
through your
No
lecture.
problem, no problem.
I'll
I was
just,
actually, I thought of that, like you were telling me that you are joining some course, so I thought
yeah,
that,
but yeah, I have studied those things, but how it is become majru, that
okay.
I have not studied.
Anyways, I will tell. Okay, no problem. So, anyways, I will
Okay.
revise here, but others, please revise your notes, please. Huh? See, Yusuf Bhai and Zamir and Saddam Bhai and Faisal. See, a word becomes majroor. Majroor means a sound, jar. It becomes majroor when it has harf jar before it. That's one of the reasons. For example, if there's a min before it, fi before it, ila before it, there's one reason. In this case here, there's no fi, there's no min, there's no ila. All those harf jars, if you remember, nothing is there before it. That means it is not majroor because of that reason. Now, second reason for the word to be majroor is it must be mudaf ilay. Mudaf ilay is always majroor. So that means there should be a mudaf before it. So that means this ayatu should be mudaf. But let's check whether this ayatu is mudaf or not. And if you remember the properties of mudaf, there are two properties of mudaf. A word can be mudaf when it has two properties. Number one, the mudaf should not have al on it. Number one. Okay. Number two, it should be light. It should not be on and in sound. It should be o sound or a sound or a sound, light. If you take all these two properties and put it, apply it for ayatu, it has no al on it, it is light. So that means this is a mudaf. Yeah, you nailed. So this is mudaf ilay. So you could conclude this is a mudaf ilay, okay, because ayatu is mudaf. Now there's a third reason. For example, if this was not a mudaf, what was the third reason then? That means there should have been a word for it, which would have been like a sif mawsuf, where the word would have been like, having same properties as al-kitab. Like there would have been something, for example, what can I say? Like in case of ar-Rahmani, like Allahi ar-Rahmani. So ar-Rahmani became majroor because of Allahi. So it is a mawsuf of sifa of Allahi. Here in this case, there's nothing like that. The word for it is not having is sound. It's not having al something is sound, right? So it is o sound. That means that sifa mawsuf combination is ruled out. Okay, so there is no harf jar for it. That is ruled out. There is no word for it which also is sound. So sifa mawsuf combination is ruled out. The third one is left, that it must be mudaf ilay, and then this must be mudaf. And if you apply the properties of mudaf on this, there's no al on it, it is light. So mudaf ilay is always majroor, and there's a mudaf here. So ayatu al-kitabi, ayatu means signs, al-kitab means book. So how will you translate Yusuf by ayatul kitabi? How will you translate this? Ayatu means signs, S-I-G-N-S, signs.
Signs of the book.
Now, okay, I think Zoom is getting, we'll join again. Please join again.
Reconnect.
Yeah.